Isabel, some people just aren't cut out for certain things. Baking is one of them. You should focus on working in the office.
She made fun of me, insisted I focus only on the office, and tried to discourage me. She forced me to give my entire monthly salary to pay for her bills, manicures, and expensive designer dresses. Broke, and with no money to pay for baking classes. Hi there, I'm Isabel, and I want to share a tough part of my life. My parents died in a car accident when I was young, and I was adopted by my Aunt Sissy, a woman who always had a frown on her face. Instead of supporting me, she made things hard. Growing up with Aunt Sissy, I was a quiet and shy kid. Aunt Sissy always made me feel unsure of myself. She said a lot of things that made me feel small. Because of her, I became a bit reserved and didn't express myself much. I was scared to disappoint her, so I didn't follow my true passion for baking. Aunt Sissy's strong personality and constant criticism made me a quiet and shy person. It was tough to be myself because of what she thought. Aunt Sissy was bossy too. She liked to be in charge of everything in my life. She told me what to do and how to do it all the time. It was hard to speak up or make choices on my own because of her strong control. She wanted to control even the smallest things, not giving me much freedom. Aunt Sissy's bossiness wasn't just in what she said. It showed in her actions too. She always wanted things done exactly her way. If I didn't fold the bedsheets a certain way, she had a fit. She always expected me to make breakfast and serve her in bed every Sunday. While other kids talked about their dreams, I wanted to be a baker, but my aunt had different plans. Growing up, she would laugh off my dream and say it wasn't practical. After high school, I got a job in an office, like she wanted. But deep down, I felt something was missing. So, after work, I decided to take baking classes. I tried to talk to her, but she was always so negative towards me.
Baking classes? Isabel, you need to be practical. You have a stable job in the office. Why waste your time on something so frivolous?
But Aunt, baking makes me happy. I want to follow my passion.
Passion won't pay the bills, Isabel. Stick to your office job. It's responsible, unlike this baking nonsense. You're just setting yourself up for disappointment. Besides, let's be honest, dear, you don't have any talent for baking.
How would you know? I've never even had a chance to try.
Isabel, some people just aren't cut out for certain things. Baking is one of them. You should focus on working in the office.
She made fun of me, insisted I focus only on the office, and tried to discourage me. She forced me to give my entire monthly salary to pay for her bills, manicures, and expensive designer dresses. Broke, and with no money to pay for baking classes, I secretly took out a loan, which helped pay for my courses. But I stuck with my dream, working during the day and attending baking classes at night for 2 years until I finished my training. When I finished my training, Aunt Sissy found out that I completed a baking course, and she was furious. She threw me out of the house with just the clothes I was wearing and a few things in a small suitcase. I had confided in another student, Robert, who knew that I was being bullied by my aunt. He called his sister, June, who happened to need a roommate in her apartment downtown. Aunt Sissy was furious that I was able to find a place to stay so fast, and she wanted me to beg her to come back. I told her that I didn't need her help anymore and told her to find someone else to harass. Meanwhile, I wasn't getting along at the office with the manager, Ms. Dishard, who kept piling on the work and never giving me any positive feedback. After another year with no performance bonus, I had enough and quit. But not before I found a vacant space to open my own bakery business. Using a small business loan, I set up shop. My dream of having a successful bakery came true with Isabel's Bakes. People flocked to my bakery on its opening day, drawn in by the delicious smells and treats. The positive reviews spread quickly, making my bakery an instant hit. My aunt, who always doubted my baking dreams, heard about my business success and saw the lineup whenever she drove by my shop. My smart marketing made my bakery even more popular. Social media buzzed with pictures of my tasty pastries, and orders poured in. My aunt, feeling threatened, entered a baking contest to prove she was better. But I won, making my aunt even more frustrated. I was shocked when a regular customer told me that there was a middle-aged lady in the front of the store spreading false stories about my shop to customers. I had my friend install a listening device, and I heard some awful things.
Well, look at this. Isabel's bakery might seem popular, but I heard some things.
What did you hear?
Health code violations. I heard they're not keeping things clean. You might want to think twice before buying anything.
Really? I had no idea.
Oh, yes, and there are rumors about cheap ingredients. You know, you get what you pay for. You might want to be careful where you spend your money.
It was a challenging moment, but it became a turning point. The trust we built that day went beyond the baked goods. It was a bond with the community that would withstand whatever Aunt Sissy threw our way. However, to completely put an end to Aunt Sissy's rumors, I decided to take a proactive approach. I contacted local newspapers and community forums, sharing the truth about the false claims. I provided evidence of our clean kitchen and high-quality ingredients, and I even invited journalists to visit the bakery for an unbiased inspection.
Today, we visited Isabel's bakes after rumors surfaced about health code violations. What we found was a well-maintained, spotless kitchen and a commitment to using top-notch ingredients.
The positive news coverage not only cleared our name, but also garnered sympathy and support from the wider community. Aunt Sissy's attempts to spread false rumors were exposed, and the community rallied behind the bakery, recognizing the dishonesty in her actions. Still, I wanted to confront Aunt Sissy about her actions, which hurt me very much. I asked for a meeting in my shop. Aunt Sissy, why did you do this? I built this with all my hard work.
You forget that I gave you a home when you were young. I fed you and bought you clothes. You stopped paying my bills and I was angry.
Let me live my life now. I don't need you anymore.
You'll be sorry.
I was so glad to get Aunt Sissy out of my life. However, every few months, things were happening that were mysterious. My tires were slashed and my windows were often smashed. Who was doing this? I set up video surveillance and discovered it was Aunt Sissy. I was so mad that I filed a police report against Aunt Sissy, who was out of the country on holiday. 6 months later, I heard from my aunt. It appears that she made some bad investments and her stocks were tumbling. She also told me that her renter was not paying the rent and was constantly having parties. She had no choice but to evict him. The renter came back the next day and set her place on fire. Her home was destroyed and she had no place to stay. Aunt Sissy came to my bakery and begged me to help her.
Please, Isabel, I need your help.
How can I help you?
I texted you that someone set my house on fire and I have no place to go.
I can't help you. It's your problem.
How can you do this to your own family?
You slashed my tires and broke my windows in my bakery shop. You are not my family.
I am an old woman and I don't know any better. Please help me. Forgive me.
Tell it to the judge. Get out of my life. You bullied me all of my life, and you spread false rumors about my bakery because you were jealous of my success. You are not my family. Things got really bad when Aunt Sissy got super angry. Her frustrations about money turned into a big problem, and I couldn't believe it as she started breaking things in the bakery with her fists. It was like a sad and chaotic event. The police showed up quickly to stop her, putting handcuffs on Aunt Sissy. She looked defeated and was taken away, leaving behind a mess in the bakery. After a few days, there were more problems for Aunt Sissy. She had to deal with the law not just for breaking things, but also for doing something dishonest, writing bad checks. She asked me to drop all the charges, but I refused to do so because she needed to be taught a lesson. For myself, I am glad that I managed to finally break away from Aunt Sissy. She was a terrible person who tried to destroy my life out of jealousy. Aunt Sissy never wanted to find happiness for me. Today, I am married to a wonderful man with a new baby on the way. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe and leave a comment down below saying, "I subscribed," and we will try our best to reply to your comment.